of this series and the map, which will distinguish which team gets to qualify onwards and which one will be no more. Moxie, I'm excited about this one because the first two maps were explosive as ever, and that final round of Icebox just got those Valorant senses tingling all over again.
Yeah, I mean, Jet mains rejoice. That clip is going to be highlighted and put in a reel for sure. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Mizik just highlights it and puts it above his bed. And, you know, just looks at it every single night. The Wolverine meme, if you will.
Yeah, it'll be one of those like video frames, right? One of those electronic frames where you just get that going for you instead of just having a standard poster. You know, it's just the entire play was just gorgeous.
Well, we're going to get to see which of these teams is going to be moving forward and which of these teams is going to be knocked out. We have already seen one team have their hopes of staying in VCT be dashed. Surreal, something that the desk touched upon. Anonymo are more favored coming into Haven. Surreal on the attack, immediately going to be going for the full team stack on towards the A.
Surreal R1 for upsets though. They've done that already from the start stages of the group stage, but let's see how this one goes on. Masik aggressing forward, playing around with his cloud bursts. Us onto the sidelines here, trying to hold it down, but it seems the attacking side of Surreal getting most of the work done. Maniac holding on though. They're waiting for reinforcements, looking for another headshot, and he finds it, which means a spike needs to go down for Bullet. Shocked also looking to push by. Admic aggressing, will have to fall. It's all down to Maniac. I believe he's already found a couple of kills, which means he has to transform that into a Quadra. Swings by, not the head, double-sided angle here from Surreal, which means Maniac stood no chance. Surreal hit first.
Yeah, Surreal just going straight for that aggressive play. And again, you can see the fact that Alvia just gets to move forward on the chamber and reposition with the rendezvous without a lot of punishment as well. That's something that you do have to watch out for. As we're seeing the replay come through, Maniac able to get a couple of picks. Unfortunately, shock darts are not infinite, so you can't just stand in hell spamming that utility to stop the spike from going through. You do eventually have to take the 1 versus 2, and you're not able to separate it out.
It's not escalation, essentially, where your last mission is to find kills with the shock darts. Oh, God, I miss that mode.
I do not.
You do not? Oh, okay.
I'm not a fan of it.
I loved it. I loved it, especially the knife rounds. Those were fun.
I mean, this could be over very quickly because Anonymo have all pushed out of mid and Surreal just waiting to meet them.
Well, Fire's all here and ready. Trademark. Well, obviously he's got his rendezvous available to move back from it. Mazik will hold it down. So yeah, it should be a simple one. We're not looking at a surreal round, if you know what I mean.
I'm surprised it took you this long to make that pun.
To be fair, I kind of used it to also kind of put into the spotlight the last round of the Icebox. So, you know. That's an eco that went right. That was a serial round, if you will. But either way, okay. Thus won't survive for too long. Quadra for Masik. 2 rounds in the bag for Surreal.
No, not quite a Surreal round, but definitely a steal. As Surreal get that one pretty much wrapped up and gift dropped on their doorstep. But Anonymo, this was the run they were saving for. This is going to be the true test to see whether or not this team are going to be able to find their footing on the defense. And especially when you have rifles, defense on Haven just becomes infinitely easier, right? Especially with these angles like C long, A long. There's so many points for early contact where teams can go aggressive and look for those picks, punish the fact that Surreal aren't running something like the Cypher Snow Cages, going to be blocking lobby out. So they're just going to be the mad dash, everyone sending it up C long.
Look at that. A lot of space gained very, very early from the Surreal side, but all of them spotted from that recon. Still, not safe to get that spike down, putting that aftershock in first to make sure they've got some ground considered. Gelest softened up substantially. Aftershock won't be holding them back for long. Paranoia is important. They do gain themselves kills here. Surreal looking to bring themselves back. Blaystorm not connecting, and the rest of them will fall suit. Quick round here from Anonymo, a lovely retake.
Yeah, Anonymo, they've seen how Surreal like to play these. They know that Alvia likes to pop up in these places that you don't expect the chamber to be.
Was that important?
And it's good to see that they push Garage. They challenge the chamber's lurk. And they're able to win out the fight. And the rest of the map as well was a round that we expected them to win. And it's not pricey either. Surreal aren't able to find the picks that they were looking for. But for them, they are so close to some pretty heavy-hitting ultimates. Rolling Thunder can be massive if you just want to blitz your way onto these sites. And explosive has definitely been the way that we can describe Surreal's pushes so far. Not a lot of waiting, just a lot of moving forward and yanking that aggression away from Anonymo.
We're actually seeing some aggression coming through from Surreal here, looking to move on to A-Long straight out of the bat. Of course, with some contact to be found, they do not go full aggressive to that. They give away the call that Zus is aggressive forward, pushing through. Just a simple trade as Gilles collects it. But still, that's a loss on Zus.
At least Surreal have lost one thing that can stop them from moving forward, the information removed. No Sova, no recon bolt. No way of knowing how many members are going to be stacked, and look at how Anonymo have responded. They're not giving up positions. They're not putting themselves into areas where Surreal are going to be able to spot them out. So you are going to have to invest heavily in utility if you want to be able to move safely up. C-Long already! That's the rolling thunder coming through, and it catches no one.
At least they know the site's cleared out, I guess. Trying to make the most out of that one. Cup half full, you know. Paranoia again coming in, but other players there to capitalize upon it? I don't think so. Surreal actually went out on those trades and a little bit too preemptive with that push. Miscommunication and such will end up costing them. Surreal just hold their lines correctly and take down everyone who trespasses.
Yeah, that could have been really costly. Not having that information forcing you to use that breach ultimate so early on. But you're able to police the lanes, and Anonymo can't get a foot back onto the site. And Surreal will be able to take another round. They're just keeping an eye to see whether or not it is going to be a ninja defuse. Even charging up the fault line, but Maniac is just having some time.
That's a dance. I can just imagine a song in the background. Tequila. No?
Wait, would Sova drink that? I don't know.
Why not?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe
Why not?
he does. Maybe he does. But for Surreal, I don't even know how to move on from that.
You don't. You don't.
What is this mental image that you've painted in my head with your sheets and close-ups of Sova imagery? And
Yeah.
we have fun on these casts.
We do. It's what VCT EMEA is all about. All right, let's go. Surreal though. Yeah, they've got weaponry in this one. Anonymo shouldn't really hold too much of a chance, but they've got a mini stack heading towards this A site. Therefore, damage can be inflicted.
Oh, well, damage has been done. It's Admik who's going to be falling first, and that's going to allow a lot of aggression. Everyone from Surreal just swarming onto that site, forcing Anonymo away into high ground. Sasa still going to be keeping control of tunnel, though.
Yeah, it should be all right. Well, we're heading into this one already. I've just put to the side that the shot that just got a kill. This has actually been an interesting one so far, because Surreal have been able to carry the momentum on from the previous map mostly, and we saw an early resurgence from Anonymo, that previous map, that Surreal were quickly to bounce back from. So when we're looking at the grand scheme of things, when we're looking at the two maps we've seen already and the pace that this match has kind of unfolded into, how do you see it continuing from now? Do you reckon Surreal have a good chance of keeping it going?
Yeah, I absolutely think so. For one, we haven't seen a timeout being called from Anonymo. And we are starting to see, right? You talked about it in the last round. There was a little bit of a miscommunication. Timings not quite lining up to allow everyone back onto that site. And that's very similar to the mistakes that we started to see more and more often as Icebox went on. Look at the final round, how they really thought that that flank was clear, that they could rely on that chamber utility, keeping that angle safe for them, which is something that Surreal's punishing. Surely this has got to be an Anonymo timeout. There it is, it's going to come through. In my opinion, 5 rounds too late.
Do you know what's in my head right now?
Tequila?
Yes.
That's on you. I have no sympathy.
The dance, the sofa dance. Anyway, Anonymo getting an early timeout here. I think this is a wise decision to make, especially considering that they've lost quite a lot of tempo. This is a part-time team, man. The fact that they've gotten so far is already impressive. So I don't want to start to see them falter so quickly.
For sure. And you do want to take these timeouts early on, especially if you're going to be buying into the operator. This is something that the desk pointed upon, and we're going to sound like a broken record when we say how impactful this weapon can be, but it is that double-edged sword. If the operator isn't doing something constantly, your economy is always on the back foot because you're buying into it. And surely here on Haven defense, the operator is at its most brutal. Especially if you can see that this is just eyeing up that default of a long. But the problem is, it's overplayed. This is something that Surreal surely are expecting as well.
Shadows traveling.
Well, dark cover coming in from two edges, but same follow suit here from the Anonymo side, looking to defend early. Masik's push to the high ground will be punished. Admit takes him down, spray down across, and manning it close by means that a Surreal's attempt is stopped towards the B side, but it looks like they've changed up their options.
C is the one that's getting a lot of noise. He's moved in and he's here to stay. And Mick booted away.
Kamek, does he know there's Kamek also in that corner? You give the respect, but Kamek, what a swing! Doubles it up, Hunter's Fury looking to find the opening. The flash helps him out. TP not coming in time. The Hunter's Fury will be able to find him, but Reese, he's all by himself at this point. And now the rest of them look to close up the gap against him, suffocate him into his little corner. And Anonymo find their way back in after that little timeout.
Yeah, for Surreal, you need to be able to push into the B side off of that breach utility, otherwise you're just not breaking the crossfire. This is why I'm a big advocate for the KO on this map, right? You use the flash drive, and if there is that crossfire setup, you catch both players on the left and the right. It's a little bit harder to pull off on that breach, and Surreal now know that it's going to be the op in the hands of Anonymo, and that they have to offer op a counter-op of their own. Mazik's going to be picking up the reins of that one, and Mazik versus Zas, when it came to this weapon, was a huge indicator on which side was winning on Icebox. So just trying to bait out this peak. So use the shoulders, Zas doesn't fall for it. Oh, but Mazik just has a little bit more patience.
I love that Zas just was composed, don't pull the trigger, it's all a distraction to be taking care of yourself, but because he wasn't born yesterday, he knows that, but he still has to fall because the angle's just held by Masik. So, bit of a dramatic end to that little trade. But here comes another attempt. Guiding lights, not blinding anyone, which is the important part. Surreal will hold on. Not quite placed where Snick would have wanted it to.
Just Admik and Kamek right now. And it looks like they don't even want to push this. I think the call is just gonna be save the rifles, try and just stabilize the economy so that you don't have to worry about when it hits lifeline mode. And it's a good shout,
is
right?
This
You know
doing the tequila
operators.
dance?
It's two of them now. It's infectious.
I'm sorry. But yeah, no, you're right. It's actually kind of dangerous on the Surreal side, especially surviving with 5 players. Their economy can now just start to get built up further and further. So yeah, Anonymo got a long way to go at this point.
Yeah, and for Anonymo as well, like, you have to continuously invest in smokes and the flashes. Now that you know that there's an operator on the other side and that Mazik is going to get aggressive, but it's not just Mazik that you have to worry about, it's the entire team. That's the difference. Look at how they set up in lobby. Anonymo has us just set up on ramps, and yet you've got Snick there with the guiding light, but the guiding light doesn't find the opening that the operator is looking for. At that point, you need to call it quits. You need to dash away and accept that the flash didn't work and that you're not going to find a pick. But Surreal are just playing like a porcupine over in lobby, and the second you try and intrude, you step anywhere closer to Mazik. Well, stepping on a porcupine, it's not a fun experience.
No, it's not pretty. I was about to say quite an interesting way to describe it. But yeah, it's an analogy that works. Early aggression coming in from Anonymo onto the C-long position. That will clear out some information, but will that be in time? Surreal already making their way. Seekers moving across. Okay, they've got the idea. Surreal know that the Seekers are approaching, therefore they'll just put it down for now.
It's good to see though that Anonymo, they're not pushing A long. They're not pushing ramps, so Zas is going to be alive.
It's all going to be played out to the backside. JJ, monstrously quick. And Maniac is no more. Simply deleted. Admic now trying to shut down his opponent, dashing in. He's caught just enough time, enough space to make sure his rest of his team can do the job. Surreal, a superb job on this take. They're just showing us how it's done right now. An execute that has just worked out grand for them. And they just continue to increase that lead.
Yeah, I mean, and they're really banking on the Seekers giving away the information on where Surreal are going to be approaching so that they can mobilize their forces to cut them off. Right? You can even see that this is playing towards the B site. They're not sure because Surreal are constantly mixing it up. They've hit the C. They've hit the A. Where are they going to go on this map? Anonymo don't actually really know how to predict it. So they rely on the Seekers to look for Surreal's positioning, but Surreal are more than happy to just let that ultimate play out. And once the Seekers has gone through, there's nothing stopping them from just getting onto that side, getting aggressive, dropping the 2 Cloudbursts, and letting Mazik run rampant. As now, this is something that we've seen time and time again from defenders on Haven. Surely Surreal are expecting it, and look at Rian just constantly keeping an eye towards Sewer. They have to know that there's going to be a player with the shotgun. In fact, they're even using the drone to check the angle.
Oh, stay perfectly still. Yeah, he's been spotted. Realizes it.
Yeah. There was a chance. There was like a slight chance, especially with the nanoswarm going off, but
They've actually gotten a kill here. They're found too. The Bucky has paid off. Weapons now collected. Maniac and Admic both now have Vandals.
ooh, that's the Hunter's Fury coming through now that you know where Surreal are going to be playing from.
2 tags, but no
Forces
kill.
them up C long. Forces them into the waiting arms of Zaz, who isn't able to find the shots.
Yeah, he went to go for a hug there, but it seems our fire wasn't very friendly. To the back end of it. Reams, there you go. Spiky little things.
30 seconds left. Spike
Looking to push through here. Rolling Thunder's only way to get out of this safely. Will it buy enough time to get back into Cubby? Yeah, they will. Ooh, they make it out in time. A clutch ultimate used there. And now we're 2-on-3. Out into the open. Reigns! 1 shot, 2 kills. And that's how you shut down Anonymo.
2 for the price of 1. Oof.
Now available in stores.
You have a really good announcer voice.
I commentate. What can I say?
I was gonna say, I can imagine you like pitching movies to me.
In a world where Anonymo come back in search
I mean, no,
of
make it
VCT.
believable.
Okay. Ooh, wow. Okay.
Well, Anonymo, right? For them, it is they have to find something that changes things up, right? Because we're seeing that the eco isn't in a good spot. They're relying on the operator to come on through. But Surreal are just playing passive. They're making sure that, yeah, you've got garage doors, you've got mid, but what are you gonna do? It's pretty space. You can put it on your CV. You own it, but if we don't push that place, if we just move on to a different part of that map, you're stuck in garage, you've wasted utility, you've given information on where the jet is, and now you know that they're not going to be able to be fast enough to cut you off on the rotation. You can start to make your move and bait them towards the sea to cut them off. As Snick is forced to go on to door watching duty.
Yeah, Snick is in sneaky business. Oh, hello! He just bumps heads with Gillests. Both end up falling. And that onslaught. Oh, spray down can't quite be controlled on that distance. And yeah, okay, Surreal get the spike down again. Anonymo seem to have lost all grasps that they ever had on this game. All fingers are just off the mark right now. Surreal just slapped their hands off. This is ours.
Icebox has thrown this team. It's really thrown this team. They're trying to figure out how exactly they can get back into the shape of the Anonymo that we saw in the first map. But for Surreal, they're looking so comfortable. They've got the operator in hand, they've got the economy in their hand. Anonymo is forced to pick up a Guardian just to try and keep tabs on that distance so that you can look for these picks in places like A long. I mean, you're even going to send the guiding light very early on so that you can push up sewers and try and find something dark cover, letting Kamek move forward.
This
Good
is
aggression.
very desperate. Getting
But
one.
it is desperation.
Oh, yeah, and it won't be paying off. Zos nearby, Guardian not working out. Gillespie just picks up the pieces. Where his team left off, he just carries it on.
Swarm grenade out.
They're not really giving Anonymo a chance here. You said they needed to switch things up here. They haven't figured out how to deal with Surreal. They try to do it, but Surreal always has the answers to it.
Surreal also had the better buy.
Yeah,
Let's be honest. If you look at what Anonymo are coming in with, that aggression unparalleled up, Sewer is so they can find those picks. A little bit of different timing too to try and throw Surreal off. Especially because a lot of contact normally that Anonymo has put up has been going down a long. But now, unfortunately, look at where you're positioned. You've got a Vandal, you don't have the Sky. And unfortunately, your Vandal's stuck in mid. You're about to run into Alvier, who's able to find the pick. That means it's going to be a nice safe spike plant. So it's all down to Maniac.
All right, Maniac. That's one. Sight, turnarounds. That's two. Needs two more. Shock dart towards Catapult. No way, right? No chance. Recon, sure. Aldrone spotting him. Touches it once again. Committing to it. Yeah, as wallbang was all that was necessary. 12 points of health. It's just not going to be enough for Maniac. Anonymo, they've lost full control. Surreal have got 9, and there's 1 round still remaining in the half.
See, Anonymo, like, they look good on the 50s. They look really good on their ecos. That's because they do go forward aggressively. They mix things up. They throw curveballs.
Yeah,
The
thing is they didn't go Phoenix. They don't have the real curveballs.
When's the last time? I can't even remember the last time I've cast a Phoenix.
I don't remember either.
In fact, I think I've cast a Yoru earlier than I've cast a Phoenix.
100%. No, I haven't seen Phoenix in a long, long time. Okay. Sus actually finding a kill here. Snick as well. An opportunity for Anonymo to come back. Seekers are thrown at them. Aftershock though, that's going to cause Sneak to move out of the way. Trailblazer moving out. Flashpoint has to cause Snick to hold his position. One drop right in his face. Jalesto recovers it. But look at Kamek. Sneaky Beaky! Roll them down. Anonymo get around at least at the final round of the half.
That's what worked for Anonymo on the first map. Kamek going for these flanks, going for the backstabs, popping up in places that Surreal aren't expecting. Aren't equipped to deal with. Unfortunately for Anonymo, it's at the tail end of the half.
Foxy, do you believe in curses?
Yes. I'm pretty sure every producer and observer that's worked with me knows to believe in curses.
Well, look at the score right now.
No, say it in the announcer voice. Come on.
9-3.
Sell it to me.
Oh, the fact that it's 9-3. It means that
in your
Anonymo
announcer
stand a
voice.
big chance. My announcer voice. Isn't my commentator voice good enough for you?
No, go for the movie.
Go for the movie. Go for the movie. Yeah, we're not going to make a trailer right here, Moxie. Not right now. It's not time. Masic, though, will make it look like a scary movie. There's Snick. He saw his life flash between his eyes.
Surreal, though, have to be feeling pretty happy. 6 rounds between them and Anonymo. First blood goes their way, but Anonymo are able to get onto the site. Spike should be able to go down. Dark cover going to be cutting off Heaven. Plant starts to come on through, but it does feel like Surreal are just letting them take that space. You have to be wary, though. Kamek's lurking around ramps, making sure no one's going to try and backstab through.
Sneaky's us. It's kind of sus. Imposter found, and he's taken everybody down. 3 kills. Maniac wants another piece of this. They may be able to find it here. Anonymo need this pistol, but Afire isn't making this easy. Kamek swings out from the shadows, retrieves it. Anonymo take the pistol.
Oof, Sus coming alive. Able to find the picks that Anonymo desperately needed to take that pistol and start to close up this gap. Here's the force coming on through. They want to guarantee that second is... Oh, look at it! The connection and the dash and then just boom. Like stepping stones.
This was the first time I made an Among Us joke. It was low hanging fruit. I just had to go for it. Apologies. It will not happen again.
Monk jokes are even older than Phoenix games, but oh, now that that is an old trick in the chamber book, but it's still super flashy and super effective.
Yeah, it might be all in vain though, because look at Anonymo and all the weapons that they've recovered and all the space they have retrieved, right? A site is fully theirs.
Surreal are still going to be able to have a little bit of contact, especially look at this backstab coming on through. Kamik's expecting it. This is the shenanigans that the Omen was playing a couple of rounds previous. No fault line, so you're not going to be able to make your way safely through.
Another Spectre's been found for them as well, therefore they can use his weapons up against them. Maniac and Sus will try and hold it down though. Make sure this round does not go wrong in more ways than they have already. They do hold down. Masic will be a menace for a little bit longer, but it's still salvaged from Anonymo. They still keep it going their way.
See, it seems like Anonymo just needed the side swap to come through. Because aggression and just getting onto those sites fast enough is definitely where this team thrives. They look so much more comfortable as a timeout comes on through. Despite being able to win these rounds, they do know there's a big chance that their economy, if they don't start clawing the rounds together, will start to slip away from them, because you can have aggression, but if you don't have the weaponry to back it up, well, Surreal can just slam the door in your face when you come calling.
Going under the legs, going under the legs, going under the legs! Yay! Sorry, got a little bit too excited there. Oh,
It's like
more
the
legs.
slowest round of bowling you've ever seen.
All right, going for another one. Dum 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 dum. Oh, I got played. I got played. Oh,
Oh, Mel, thank you for the bait and switch. That was beautiful.
I got baited.
That was payback for tequila.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Because it's probably in their head too.
Sorry. Yeah, okay, let's look at this round. Economically sound for the Surreal side, but if they lose, the ramifications of it will be ugly.
Yeah, you're buying into an operator, you have to come out top dog. It's gonna be the actual dog checking those angles. Trying to see. Ooh.
Here.
Masic still just holding on the back of site. Location's been revealed. The dash is there. Punishment does not come through. Operator's still around. And unfortunately for Anonymo, what they really wanted to do, push up separately from Zilong and emerge from connector at the same time, is denied now that the operator is back in its position. What do you have in the pocket? What can try and flush this operator away once more? As time starts to dwindle down, Anonymo have to make a decision.
Surreal seem to have their players in the right spots. Guiding lights, dash in, cloudburst, that cover, followed suit from the Anonymous side. JJ with the right angle, Masic peeks through, JJ with 3, and Surreal just making this look too easy. Way too easy. They know where Snick is coming from. He just shot into the air to desperately find something out of it. But he's pinced it in. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and a fire will put him to his grave. Surreal on double digits, double the amount of rounds that Anonymo have accumulated so far.
I mean, it's a good setup from Anonymo, right? If you can actually connect the kill onto Masic, that's when Seaside opens up. But unfortunately for them, despite the flash coming through, Masic is able to just dash away. No punishment. And Anonymo, they reveal their hand, they reveal that they're pushing onto the C site, that it's not a fake. The players are going to be moving up both Silong and Garage. And then they stick around, they wait for those smokes to come back online, they wait to try and push the operator yet again, but in your hesitation, you've allowed that rotation to come through, so it's a full team of Surreal who shut you out from it. It's now Operator's mixed up its angle, Guiding Light comes on through, Cloudburst to make sure that you can safely get out from lobby. It's like still not pulling away. Doesn't take the shot, waits for the drone to come through, knows that their location's already revealed, wants to get a pick. Now finally will dash back to the safety.
Moving on to the site though, should be fairly straightforward one. I think they've been respected in that regard. Now the post-plant will come across. Look at the ultimates, nothing really available here from Surreal, so it's going to have to be raw gun power to overwhelm them. Of course, Paranoia can pay dividends at the right placement of it, and that's what we're really waiting for at this point. Zus fairly up close and personal, guiding light, damaging up Zus a little bit, but he'll be there for the pre-fire. Dashes away, not enough to get himself to safety. Quickly bouncing back, Surreal trying to get most of the kills here, but they're failing. Hunter's Fury will also complicate matters. Masick eases away from this fight. It's not one he favors. Therefore, Anonymo have been gifted an opportunity to take down this round, even though it's going to be an expensive endeavor for them. At least they start to get a few rounds to go their way.
Masick still got the operator though. And that's something he was doing a very good job of an icebox too. Even when Surreal lost the fight, they knew when they'd lost the round and they would just hoof it out with the weapon, out with the sniper. And so it is still going to be in the hands of the Jet. And Tour de Force is going to be there too, a double whammy when it comes to that distance battle. Anonymo will have the knives themselves, so they can challenge it if they want. The Seekers are there, they can get the information. If Surreal are trying to play a little bit too close contact very early on in those rounds, the Seekers will flush out that Jet's position, but they do just all want to push up C-Long. Drone's going to be coming on through. Tour de Force spots out a little bit of a presence. Cloudburst comes through, but you still get taken out. What are those reflexes?
Mighty quick. That's what they are. And now Surreal,
Spike dropped.
even though they're on a Shiko, as my boy Neo Kai says, well, we're still not an easy endeavor for them.
I've got your trail.
Oh, Seekers are coming on out. It's going to give away the position. Well, Jailers, who suddenly finds it a very hot spot to be in.
Yeah, traded out though. Anonymo get the best of it, but still equal across the board. Rifles gathered up on fire with space to come in from behind. Maybe spotted. Masick will try and draw attention towards him. He even runs away with a kill. Admic is ever so low. How is he even standing? One bullet
You should run.
would do it. Lockdown. Oh, he's going for the chase. He's going after him. Man's just got put on the joggers and he's going directly for it. Trying to pre-fire it. He's done it. 5 bullets on the rifle. He doesn't need more than that. Just one will do. Admic. Does he find the head in time? My word, he does. Anonymo, hold on. They're not done just yet.
Admic, you absolute star. Is able to find the shot. If one bullet, not even a bullet, just the air that the bullet had been propelled for would have felled that killjoy.
Yeah, if he sneezed, he would have been killed.
Death by self-nosebleed. But Anonymo, hold on, 7 to 10, pouring out that distance. They look so much cleaner on the attack when they have those timings. Yes, there's a couple of hiccups, right? The fact that they do still lose a player on C-Long to the Tour de Force, but other than that, nice and smooth, nice and methodical, cleaning out these angles, cleaning out garage. This is what Sky is so good at. Trailblazer invested no one behind doors. Jailers forced away. But Masick's still able to find a shot.
Yeah.
Not again.
And they're still very scared to push through garage here. They've used everything at it. They do wait for the one-sided smoke to deteriorate, but there's another one that falls towards the site, and it's one that we're taking advantage of. Alfire quickly taking down Snick here, and Anonymo are in a grand disadvantage. 3 players, the only control they've gathered is garage, and Surreal are happy to give that up at this point.
Can't push for the dark cover until it evaporates, because their angles will be spotted out long before they see where Surreal are playing from this backside. And still, they haven't made a move onto this site. There's 44 seconds left.
Without any noise towards the other side of the map, they're not going to move out of position. They still went out on the trace, which is the important part. Rolling Thunder looking to concuss them. That is going to delay the plant substantially. JJ out into the open, has to draw back with the kill. He's gathered flash out. Not the timing you need here, but the timing that maybe they require to get themselves the plant down. Shock Dart will damage them up substantially. They're barely alive. Will bang them. Just spray down across smoke. Somehow they hold on, and it's all down to Masick. Every one of them is low. From the shadows, they line up, but it's not enough to get the kills. They both take him down, and Masick falls, and Anonymo get another.
Oh, that was a gasp, and that was deserved, because that positioning was, ooh, it was dicey. It was dicey.
How did they do that? They were 3 versus 5, then 2 versus 4.
Yeah.
And
The fact that they're able to get out from Connector alive, it's massive. And Surreal take a time out because they know they should have had them.
They barely had 20 points of health amongst the two of them.
Yeah. Not even a light armor to share.
Mad world this is.
No, they're just like, they're coming in on these clutch moments. You can see they've got that confidence back. They're looking for the fights. They're taking these fights when the spike is down. That's the big difference. What we need to see from Anonymo now is having the confidence before the spike goes through. Because it almost very nearly goes towards Surreal's side because of the time, right? They clear Garage, and then they sort of look and check their watches and diver around deciding what exactly they want to do. And that allows Surreal to just stay on that C site and get a nice little nosy in from Connector. It's going to be an eco coming out from the defense, so Anonymo, once again, just being a little bit passive, waiting to see if they're going to be pushed, waiting to see if Surreal, instead of playing for the round, are going to be looking for kills instead.
A light investment from Surreal, you're right. Still can do the damage. We're talking about Anonymo here, right? Looking at the Valorant Regional League of Eastern Europe, Surge, they went into playoffs as a last seed. Everybody counted them out. And then they came alive. Destroyed every single team in their path. Have made it across. Okay, Group B, not the easiest endeavor for them, right? Had to meet up against a DACH representative. And still, managed to make it out. Then, they beat Rebels, the favorites of this entire promotion tournament. But unfortunately, they faltered where Big lay. It's going to be a simple one, for Anonymo at least. They'll keep their hopes alive, their dreams. Getting a little bit closer to Surreal by the second. One round distinguishes the two teams right now.
This is impressing. At the moment, this was a play that we were looking to step up with. Right, it's your Jet. It's the Turkish region. But now we get to see he's really stepping up. He's finding the picks, he's finding the openings, guaranteeing that space. You get those two, you can dash in, you can drop the Clyde burst, the rest of your team feels safe enough to move up C long. And Surreal, they're hitting the panic button. It's going to be the operator coming through from Mazik. This was what you were always able to keep above Zus's head in the previous round. You have to find that same firepower as Alpha. You just 28 HP, only alive because of the rendezvous.
He wanted to stick around a little bit longer as well. He was just second guessing himself. Should I go out? Should I go? Should I stay? Are they going to push? But it looks like the commit is coming in from mid, and Masik is going to swing by. Kamek out with his smokes, not really going to allow him to stay alive long enough. So Surge, well, they've got the advantage. Surreal getting it done here. Masik onto the back end of it, still holding strong. JJ joining the fray. Hunter Suri assisting in this endeavor. They're making this look clean. Is us the only way Anonymo can back into this. Eli's as a difference maker. Admik, the corner not quite cleared out, meaning he will have to fall, and Zus will have to follow suit. Surreal 2 rounds away from closing things out here, shutting down Anonymo and qualifying onwards.
Surreal 2 rounds away from qualifying. Anonymo 2 rounds from equalizing. It's a knife edge between these two teams. And it really is going to be these star plays that Anonymo are going to be relying on, getting that 2-round difference beneath their belt. They've got the Blade Storm, one more ult orb, they're going to have the Hunter's Fury. There's no Killjoy on the side of Surreal, so you don't even need to save it for the dance of ult chicken. As Surreal are going pushy, they're getting aggressive. Marzik's got the Blade Storm themselves, able to get that final ult orb. They wanted it. Recon Bolt put in to make sure it was safe enough for the Jet to move forward.
That arch run was huge. Actually, the timing of that was immense. Spotting out 3 players, but the fact that there's time around it, you can't really put too many forces in this direction, albeit that they have.
It's just a game of patience right now. Is Anonymo going to move up ramps? Is Marzik gonna turn away at the wrong time?
Oh, Masik.
Hydra's gonna distract. Sees a little whiff of the jet elbow.
Oh,
Doesn't
Zasik
get the
aggresses.
defend pick.
That's the first kill. Kamek as well. Masik looking to subside from this, but no, drops away. Anonymo have got the advantage. They've gotten themselves the kills. Now Spike control as well. Backing away. Gelest. Do you know where the DP has ended up to? That cover onto the one end. Paranoia. You've got to decide, right? You've got two players below you. You've got to decide if you're going to use it towards short. Both shot by fire. You're looking to trade it back. Only good for one, which means Masik has to run away, save that big gun, because it will be to no use this particular round. Anonymo are keeping things nail-bitingly close.
Anonymo are hitting double digits. And this is when they start to hunt. Surreal need to keep that operator in the pocket. Ooh. Admech walks into the shot, but now they know where the jet is. As the communication, Masik's holding the angle, is able to punish. Kamek falls. Unfortunately for Anonymo, they wanted that operator. They're not able to get it out of the way. For Surreal, they're still alive in this series, but they want to finish things off cleanly. They do not want to go back into overtime.
Now this is a tough one. This is becoming a tricky affair from both ends. Surreal, we saw them also struggle to close out maps before. They've been on match points on every map they played, right? Even though they lost the one, which Anonymo ended up winning in overtime, they still were ahead early.
Flight.
But they still struggled to close it out in that instance, right? They had the post-map jitters. We saw it in Icebox as well. Took him a while to put the nail in the coffin. But we may be seeing them face the same demons once again, their own. To the C site, hand it over. Anonymo with control as Surreal look to backstab.
Look at Kamek.
Ooh, sneaky man. They don't walk past him though.
They don't.
Oh, but he's
know
still
that
there.
He's there.
Oh, pins it in. There you go. Kamek, not quite the second, but damage on Reens. Softened up for the rest to finish off the job you started. Starts holding it down. Masik, quick to react. Draws out a Phantom, knowing that in clutch positions, that weapon may be better suited. Recon onto the back end. Spray down from Snick as he crossed forwards. 10 bullets now for Masik as he looks to push forwards himself. Nanoswarm, the leg, the spike diffusal. Admic, shut down. Quick headshot. All down to Maniac. All up against two. Diffuse halfway, our fire interrupts it. Comes clutch once more. Surreal on map and series points.
Oh, Anonymo wanted that round. It was almost theirs. 20 HP on the chamber. Beautiful play coming from Kamek. Surreal did not expect that Omen to be teleported right back in to their spawn. But unfortunately, Kamek not able to pick up that second kill, only able to find the first. And yeah, Anonymo are able to find the pick with the damage that he does to the second player, but you do lose the trade in the meantime. It's not a force. They do have weaponry. Knives coming on through, and these knives have to be huge. So that's already able to find Masik. The Kamek goes down, and now it's going to be a lot harder to safely get onto the site. There's the second, and suddenly you can feel the echo of Icebox wrapping around Surreal's throat.
And you can hear the echo of the breach just shouting, "Let's go!" and throws down the rolling thunder, but it only will be used as an obfuscation, kind of to delay their opposition. They're heading towards the opposite side of the map, where it's completely open from defenders.
I mean, Surreal, they don't have the rolling thunder, but Anonymo, they don't know that the site is clear. Guiding Light comes through just in case. Recon Bolt getting a good old read, giving them the information that surely they have to be coming from the rotation of your side of the map. And look at Zas, primed and ready to punish.
Without a pick, there must be hesitation to this. They needed it, right? They needed that first kill to make this doable, but they don't. Therefore, they hold back, Moxie. They hold back.
Save the weapons. Save the rifles. Don't use the ultimates. This is what Surreal was doing such a good job of in Icebox, figuring out when a round had been lost and when it was better to save. Better to fight another day and win the fight that way.
Just to remind you, folks who have joined us now, who have been together since the start, halftime score was 9-3.
Curse! It's rapping on the door. Surreal so close to finishing this series. So close to knowing that they can continue their hopes of getting into VCT. But Anonymo are not going down without a fight. Their body's looking a lot healthier in this time. 4 rifles across the board. Same cannot be said for Surreal, but at least they will have the tour de force to play with.
Let's see if they can remain in this game, if they can make it into VCT promotion. Still a long way to go, but this lower bracket round is the only resource they have left. Their only chance, and they're fighting with it with everything they've got. JJ crosses by, Reeds as well, looking to take charge of this. They already find themselves the numbers, and this time around, as they do switch sides, they do switch positions on the map, there is a defender holding onto the site. It's Alfire, and he's waiting for it. He's thirsty, he can hear the commotion, taking a wider angle, going for the swing. Rendezvous is away, and that's a freebie. Is this where it all ends for Anonymo? Is this where Surreal are able to shut them down and qualify? Is this where they book their ticket to play up against Rebels on the next point of the bracket? Alfire pushes up, gets one. Maniac with 2. Can he save it? More the remaining, but just peeks through and takes him down. Surreal have taken down Anonymo, and they will be qualifying onwards, while Anonymo's dreams and hopes will have to be put on pause. They will not be doing it this time around.
The 9-3 curse does not strike again. We do not see a second overtime coming through. And Anonymo, it was a valiant effort. They came back so cleanly, and you could see they had the confidence. They had the renewed energy to be able to put